We have John Thomas here. He is the COO of Autel North America. We wanted to ask him a couple of questions about some big announcements that they had today. Give us a briefing real quick of what you just announced today.
So we talked about Autel and our total energy management solution, which means we're trying to figure out how to create microgrids within the energy ecosystem. So that'll help from a lot of standpoints, right? Everybody who's driving EVs today is concerned. They're concerned about, hey, where do I charge? How do I charge? Will there be enough power to get all these charging stations in place? By creating these microgrids, what we do is we set up battery storage, basically, at the end of the day, that we can deploy where you need it, when you need it, and how you need it. So that's a super cool thing. I mean, that's like innovative. Nobody else is really doing that.
What's impressive to me is that you guys are taking it from a standpoint where you're kind of attacking the industry from all angles. I mean, you were in the automotive diagnostics tools part of the category, and now you're just like coming out swinging hard in the charging business. So I heard a little bit in the presentation today about your DC fast charging station that can put out up to 480 kilowatts. That's
mind-blowing.
Right? So can you give us a little insight on how you're able to deliver that much power? Because that's a lot, and it seems like there's got to be some pretty impressive cooling systems going on there.
Yeah, so when you talk about that, like you said, it builds up heat, right? And that's one of the biggest challenges with high power charging. So we actually have a cooling system within our device that helps to cool down the system, manage the heat, dispense that heat out of the system, and allows you to charge at higher powers. And it allows you to charge at higher powers longer. So a lot of systems have to taper off as they get hot, and then they have to reduce the amount of kilowatts you're getting during the charge cycle. So we can keep it at higher longer, which means you're going to be at the charger a lot less time.
Can you give us a little insight on the V2X capability of this new charger you have?
Yeah, so we can talk a little bit about that. So that's a great question. So V2X is all about vehicle to grid, vehicle to home, vehicle to business, and what it's doing is taking the power and the energy out of a vehicle's battery, and when you need it, transferring it back into your home or your business or wherever you need it to the community to offset the issues with the grid and the availability of power. So as more EV drivers adopt, right, and have more of these types of systems, we have a bank of energy sitting out there in the marketplace, able to transport that energy out into the market.
And it looks like in that case, you do need to have extra equipment in order to have that facilitate back and forth from your energy storage solution, whether that be your car, or it looked like you guys have inverters and packs that you might be a one-stop shop for, is that correct?
Yes, we are a one-stop shop. So if you just want to set up a basic B2X system, you don't need anything but our charger and a switch, which we include in the kit. So it's all inclusive. Some other systems you gotta add on a bunch of stuff, inverter and other stuff. So that one is all inverter inclusive. If you go to the next step and you want a whole energy management system for your home to tie to solar, we also have the inverter side, the battery storage side, and the charging side. So they all work harmoniously through a back end that allows them to decide where energy is, where you want to put it, when you want to put it.
And I heard you talking a little bit about the AI that's involved, not only in your DC fast charging stations that would be out in the public, but is there involvement there on that side of the business as well?
There's algorithms and AI in the background that's making decisions based on what's going on in the network within your ecosystem, if you will, whether it's a business or a home. So it's starting to make intuitive decisions based on behaviors and what's going on and how the energy's flowing and balancing that all out.
So you can kind of determine if you need to restrict the load or push it out more or things like that.
Yep.
So right now, the EV infrastructure is kind of under attack because there's a lot of reliability issues. Is there a solution here with what you're providing on your DC fast charging stations in particular?
So I can tell you as a user, I'm also an EV driver. I've had struggled with that in the past, right? Where you pull up to a charge station and it kicks you off for whatever reason, you don't know why, and then you have to move somewhere else. So, you know, one of the things I think is special about Autel is you mentioned the diagnostic side of our business. In the diagnostic sides, we're working in concert with the vehicle all the time. So we're going into the vehicle telematics, we're figuring out what's going on with the vehicle and all that stuff. That's one of the biggest challenges in EV. A lot of the people don't have that background, so we're an automotive company. So by doing that, what we have is a system where we believe we follow automotive standards. Our products are reliable, they're tested to automotive requirements. In fact, ISO 15118, a lot of people don't know what that is. That's the handshake between the EV and the charger. So that's really something that's already built into all our chargers. Most EVs don't even have that yet. As they're starting to come out, they will. But so our product's also future-proof from that standpoint.
So that brings me up to one last question, was that you said that not a lot of EVs in the marketplace have the features like plug and charge, or another thing is that you do have really high power bidirectional charging. Is there anything that you guys are doing in order to get these manufacturers on board to bring this technology to life?
So I think most of the manufacturers, the OEMs, are working in the direction of ISO 15118 because it's going to be the common language, if you will, across the industry. We are definitely working with OEMs, and they want to work with us because we're bringing technology that they haven't seen before, right? They want people that are going to lead them to the next innovation. So that's why they're working with Autel. So I believe in concert, the two have to happen in parallel. There's three things, right? Batteries, vehicles, and chargers. They all have to work in concert to make it a success. We talked a little bit about the ad portal, right, on the front. And you walk up and you're like, that's new, right? Nobody's really doing this. There's a company called Volta that's doing it, but it's totally a different approach. Yep. But we're not only focused on the ad, that's not where the value is. So as we talk to car companies, you spend a lot of time at a charger. And what if we could turn that charging experience into something of value? So the man-to-machine interface becomes, this charger is your friend. When you're sitting there and it looks at, when it connects to the car through 15118, it says, hey, you haven't done this to your car. You haven't done, would you like me to make an appointment for you? Have you thought about going to dinner? Like, can I make a reservation for you? Would you like to play video games on that thing? Would you like to watch Netflix? And if you're connected to the car, it comes through the speakers of the car and you can hear it inside your car. So like, the thing about it from that standpoint, when we talk to fleets are like, hey, I can communicate with my employees. Right? Bob shows up on Monday to get his truck and it says, happy birthday, Bob, on the portal. People are trying to find ways to communicate with each other because we're not in workplaces anymore. We don't see each other so much. The car dealership thing is starting to go whatever way it goes at the end, but the OEMs still want to connect to their end customer and they won't see them as much. But now they'll see them more frequently with this. So why not use this opportunity to make a whole inviting event that can really, move things forward.
And enhance the whole overall experience, yeah, which I don't think a lot of people are really thinking about.
Yeah, we're thinking very big, broad picture.
Yeah, so. I can tell. This display definitely lends itself to that.
Yeah, when you walk in, you feel like, some people said, I felt like I walked into an Apple store.
I feel like I'm walking into my home because this is what I want to see. People at the North American International Auto Show, we have a charging station company that is a huge display here, and it's just so exciting. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. I loved the Maxi home charger that I reviewed, and if you guys haven't watched it yet, definitely check out that review because that is a really nice, high quality, excellent user interface product that is an awesome charging station to opt for. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yes, enjoy the rest of the show.
Meeting you guys.
You as well.
Thank you.